No, wait, no. We are. Yeah.
We are? All right, well, hey guys, what's up? What's going on, man? What's going on, world? Don't you see it's us? It's Stifter and Bogey time. We're back, because why not? How are you, Stifter?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I had a great time because last time I mentioned briefly that I've been doing therapy. Remember, I said that? And I wanted to clarify because of the many questions we received. I wanted to talk a little bit more about that because I think there's a big misconception when it comes to this, and people are like, this is like a taboo and people don't want to talk about it. And it's wrong because it's something that really helps people, regardless of what kind of issues you're dealing with, or you think you're dealing with no issues, or you're just curious about yourself, or doesn't matter. It's still an interesting thing. At least that's why I started doing it, because for me, it wasn't for a particular reason. I wasn't trying to solve a particular problem. The only thing was I moved here like 7 months ago, and I didn't know anyone, didn't have any friends, a new place. And I thought, you know what? Since I have free time now after work, like, it's not like I'm going out with friends or anything. Let me get an appointment with a therapist and start doing that, because I've always been curious about it and I've never done it, never had the time to do it. And now for the last 6 months, I've been doing it regularly. And I found a guy who is a specialist like in Jungian depth psychology, like a proper psychoanalyst, analyzing dreams, everything, the whole thing. Actually, I can maybe plug the guy. I'm sure he's not going to mind. His name is Kamen, but I don't remember his last name. And surprise, he's a Bulgarian living in Barcelona. He lived in the UK for many, many years, and he very experienced and super cool. But the fact that he's Bulgarian is also very interesting because he knows where I'm coming from. We speak Bulgarian with him, and he kind of knows the background of that, maybe the issues that I'm dealing with. Kamen Petrov is his name. Shout out to Kamen Petrov. So I wanted to talk about it because I just had now a remote session, because nowadays everything is remote. Even therapy is remote. So I'm gonna have a remote heart transplant probably next month. But I had a really nice session and it was very insightful. And we're doing all kinds of things. And today we did one exercise that we've done a few times. It's like a free association game, sort of, where you close your eyes and you kind of imagine things. And the first thing that comes into your mind, or the first emotion, the first image, or anything, the first thing you see, you talk about it. And you start talking, and eventually, at the beginning, maybe you see the last thing that you saw. Like maybe if you were playing The Witcher, the first thing you're gonna see is maybe The Witcher, right? But eventually, if you stay like this and and he's just listening, right? So you're just describing the things that come to your mind, the images that come to your mind. Eventually you kind of clear your mind, of you forget where you are, you forget about the room and everything. And if you trust the guy enough, you start bringing up these interesting images, and sometimes it's memories from the childhood, sometimes it's random images. uh, and eventually, and afterwards we look back at everything, like it could be like 30, 40 minutes of me just doing this, and he writes it down, and then we analyze it. And what's every time, it just doesn't stop to surprise me, is how you find these connections between things that were happening to you when you were a kid and things that are happening to you today, and you realize you're really the same person. You really are like the same. You're dealing with the same character traits and the same issues, and you just forget about a lot of them. You forget that when you were a kid, you were dealing with this, and the way that you were solving these issues was exactly the same way you're doing it now. But now you're like, so like, oh my God, how am I gonna do this? Because now you have so many more expectations and the people around you, and you forgot how easy it was to do that when you were a kid, and that is really who you truly are. And I mean, it's sounding vague here because I don't want to go into detail, because if I do, it's just I have to explain for hours so you understand what I'm talking about. But because it's my own personal stuff I'm talking about. But in general, this applies to many people, and I find it very useful. Have you ever thought about doing therapy?
Yeah, sure. I have, yeah. But I don't
But what are your thoughts?
know. My
What are
thoughts
your
are
thoughts
that
about it?
it's good, probably. But I haven't gotten to it. Maybe I'm not that motivated yet. But I'm thinking about it, yeah.
But if you had the
No, I
time,
have
for
the time.
example, and if money wasn't,
And I don't care
yeah.
about.
But do you think Do you think maybe it's, for example, that it's difficult for you to share because you're like I think, as far as I know you, you're not that big of a sharing person, you know? Do you think that's going to be an issue for you if you were to go to a therapist that like you're not going to be the one
Yeah,
talking
but
and
he should be used to that stuff, right? He should have a way to get to you, probably.
yeah, I mean, for me that's not a problem, so I don't know, but I'm wondering like what
No, I mean, I
how
mean,
would
it
it
will
be for
still be
you?
helpful whatever happens there. Like even if I don't share, he will see that and maybe help with that or something. Like it's not something you need to have, right?
No, I don't think so. But it's I think more than anything it's about trust. Because if you establish that, then you can, some people are not verbal in general. It's not even about sharing. It's about like how you express yourself. And some people, they can, with one word or with one express, you know how it is. Like you have a sister, right? It's an example of a person you know for so many years, right? You grow up together. You know your sister so well, I assume, that you look at her face and you know how she feels, right? So at the end, the goal is to get to a point where the guy knows you so well that eventually, even if you don't have the maybe the skill to talk a lot or verbalize every experience, the way that you are going to express it in your particular way is going to be clear enough for him, um, and I think the trust is the most important thing here. And not everyone can do, and of course there's also so many different therapists and so many different ways of treating people, and there's more behavioral side of things, and there's more, in this case I like that Jungian side because it's a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of behavioral stuff, but there's a lot of like archetypes and analyzing. Like I write down my dreams, which is an amazing exercise. I've never done it, and I've always remembered dreams. But if you don't make the effort and you don't try to wake up and write it up. By the way, have a look at the comments instead in
Yeah,
case
I'm
someone is
looking.
writing. But I write down my dreams whenever I can, and then we sometimes go over them, and then sometimes I show them the drawings, and sometimes we do other kind of exercises, and it's very interesting. For me, it's very informative. Like I learned things about myself that I didn't know, and I thought, I got, I've done enough things to kind of examine myself, and still I found new things. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I still think maybe I can still. It's not. I can fix some things without therapists for now. So
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's good. I think
So if I
maybe
had,
I'm wrong. Maybe I should go. Maybe it's good, but I haven't yet. So
no, I'm not saying anything. I'm just curious. What's like your
yeah,
your opinion on the whole
I
thing?
mean,
Like,
it's good in general. Is that your question? Yeah, it's amazing, yo. It's the best thing ever,
yeah,
probably.
thanks, man. No, but I think it's a positive thing, and because it's an introspect into yourself. Like one thing, the first thing that I remember. So because it works in many ways, at least the things I noticed. The first thing that I noticed, because also the therapy, the tricky thing about it is that it takes time. Because imagine you meet someone new. You gotta tell him who you are, what's the deal. He has to work with something, right? Only when he knows your background, he can kind of see connections that maybe you don't see, but he can kind of see them and lead you maybe in some areas to examine. So the first thing I remember was uh, it was a few times I was there, and I thought, how would I best and in the fastest way possible, because it's also it's not the most affordable treatment, unfortunately. Therapy all over the world is expensive. Uh, but I thought, how do I summarize my life? So I had this structure, like I'm gonna talk about this, and then about this, and then about this. And I decided, instead of talking about chronologically, like I was born, I went here, I decided to talk about it in terms of categories. So one category would be, I don't know, my relationships with people, my relationships with women, my professional life, my dreams, and like my art stuff, and like the videos I did and the writing. So those would be different categories. And when you put it this way, then you take a category and you talk about it chronologically, right? So I said, okay, so I was doing these writing things, right? And it first started when I was like 6 years. Well, no, when I was like maybe 10 years old, I wrote one story. Then I started drawing. Then when I was 12, I wrote something else. Then this. Then in high school, we did this. Then that. And when you start doing it like that, you start seeing patterns, because it's not every day that you sit down and you try to think, let me think about my entire life and about one specific aspect of it, and describe it in as much detail as I can. You don't do it every day, right? So when you do it, you all of a sudden, oh my God, I forgot that this thing happened. So with the writing, it's not a bad example, not a good example, but a better example would be, for example, relationships. Let's say relationships with women, if you're a straight guy. So, which, I hope I am. But but if you're a straight guy, you've had different relationships with women, and all the way from your mother to any other girl. And I started describing the significant relationships in my life, and I started noticing myself these patterns before even he said anything. Just because the way I would structure it and explain it, all of a sudden I was like, oh wow. So the first insight I had came directly from me. I mean, in a way, they all come from you, but the first one was super obvious. Like he didn't even say anything. I was like, okay. And that was maybe like a month in. And then afterwards he helped much more than he did at the beginning, because afterwards, like, he already knew enough about me that he could be a part of this conversation, and it would be an informed conversation. It's like as if I was a physicist and I invite another physicist on the podcast, we would have one conversation. But if I'm a physicist and you are a musician, we would have even if we talk about physics, it's not going to be the same. So we have the same subject matter, and we both are sort of becoming experts at this subject matter eventually, right? So afterwards, it was just very interesting. It got like I had a couple of moments that were like mind blowing, especially when I started remembering memories from my childhood that I had completely forgotten. Like some of them were like shameful moments that I was ashamed of, and I didn't remember them because I guess I was ashamed, and my mind was kind of blocking them. And then today, for example, also I remembered a lot of very interesting things from my like when I was I lived in a village. Do you want to hear the story?
Sure.
Do you know the story? Do you know that I come
Yeah,
from
I
the
know the
village?
name. I even know
Has it
the
ever
name.
occurred to you? What's the name?
Oh, I don't know it. It's from Poland, right? I know the one in here in Bulgaria.
No,
Ah,
that's the one. Because
Balvan.
I was born in Poland, but I
Balvan
never
then,
lived.
right?
Exactly. Shout out to Bovan, everyone from Bovan
I
watching.
remember even
Uh,
Sinamber. I remember everything, man.
exactly. I was gonna talk about this. I was gonna just talk about Sinambir because I just had on the therapy we are talking about Sinambir. Okay, let me tell you this. This is a real story. It's unbelievable. It's gonna blow your mind. Listen to this. One of my very earliest memories in my life, okay, which includes most of the last 30 years in my opinion. you know, I might be wrong. So in my life, one of my
So wait, you
earliest
were one
memories
year
when
old, right?
I must
Then.
no 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 I must have been
So it's not 30
four
years. So it's not
at
30
that
years.
point.
It's less.
Yes, I am
No, no.
much younger actually.
I
That's a
mean,
surprise.
you're not sure
No, no,
about the
I
other
don't have it.
memories
Okay.
because you
No,
don't
no.
have them. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Let me tell you this story. So I am 4 years old, and we're coming back, me and my mom, from the center of the village. I don't know why we were there. Who
So
knows?
that's like a
Fucking, what are
that's
you
like a 20
supposed to do
second
there?
walk, right?
Dangerous. Yeah. We are coming. I think we went to buy bread. This was a thing, right? Remember, people used to go buy bread. Nowadays it's like gluten is worse than the virus. But we go to buy bread or get mail because my mom was from Poland, so she was getting post mails. Like my grandmother would write poems and stuff and send them to the village, and we would go get this is before internet or anything, and phone calls were expensive. This
You
is to
just
another
went
country,
for the mail,
so we
yeah,
would
that's
get
what you do.
yeah, went to the mail, and we're coming back, and there was this turn in the street before we reach our house, and the street separates, and one of the streets leads to Sinamber. It leads directly in that direction, and this is the end of the village. So after Sinamber, there's nothing, and it's like a super isolated area. And actually, here's an interesting fact: where the name comes from, Sinam. There was a kid, a Turkish boy, and it's a legend. I don't know if it really happened, and he was eaten by wolves on this hill. And this is Bayr means hill for those of you who are wondering. So the guy is eaten by wolves on this hill, and the hill has the name of the guy, the kid. It's called Sinamber. This is the legend. So I see this road going directly to Sinamber, which is the end. And my mom is like, "You never go there. This is the end. It's dangerous." I'm a kid, so remember, like my earliest associations of danger, of like the limit of maybe outside of society, escaping other people, is Sinamber. So this is like it becomes associated to me from an early age with this. And this memory, as we're going back and we see like the street leading to Sinamber, there is a falling star, like a meteor or something, falling across the sky in the middle of the day. And a lot of people stop and everyone's looking up and we see it falling like a falling star. It probably burned in the atmosphere. There was no impact or anything, but it flew over and it flew in the direction of the hill, sort of like outside of the village. And I remember this because everyone was talking about it, and my mom later confirmed this wasn't my own imagination as a kid, but that memory, since it was so early, it changed eventually. And now,
So,
if I picture it, it
so you're
doesn't
like
look anything like
you were born like the Terminator. You're conscious.
yeah, yeah.
Falling from
So
the sky.
so so I remember this. Okay, so check this out. I have this memory now in my session with the therapist just a few moments ago. I remember this early memory, and then I start thinking, and then I remember how, when I grew older, I used to go to this place, to Sinamber, to play, even though my mom would be angry and she'd be like, "Where are you going by yourself?" There was no other kids. I would go by myself, and then there was nothing there. It's just a hill. There's not even a forest or anything, and uh, and I remember I enjoyed it so much, like the isolation. It was rest for me from the expectations back home that my parents had. My parents were pretty strict. My mom was very demanding and everything. So in a way, that was my escape from society in that early stage, right? From what society expects from you. It could be later expressed as a job or someone else. Like, you have to do this and this, and you fail, or it's frustrating to you, and you want to escape in nature. So you see how this pattern repeats itself.
Yeah, I
It
saw it
started as a
all.
kid, and now even today. Right. So to me, it was incredible to realize that I've been doing this since I was a kid. And the guy says, "Okay, so listen, think about this. Uh, is it a bad thing to escape if what you're escaping to is yourself? Like, you're escaping to a truer version of yourself. Because what I'm running away from is the expectations of the other people, which all they are is their version of who I should be, right? Because what my mom is telling me, or what, I don't know, someone in a bad relationship is telling me, or someone a bad boss at work or something is telling me, are those expectations of me from society, and I'm escaping from them, and I want to go to nature, but I'm not really running away as much as I'm running towards myself, to my own voice, to listen to myself without hearing all this noise from outside. So you see, in that sense, even something like this, even trying to isolate yourself, like what we're all doing now with this virus, right, is really an attempt to go back into a deeper connection with yourself and to listen to your own needs. Which this is very important, and this I learned through all these psychedelic experiences and everything. It's so difficult, especially I feel for people coming from our side of the woods and from Bulgaria and from Sinambir and from it's that there's nothing wrong with being good to yourself and loving yourself and caring about yourself, because we always think there's something selfish about that. But if you're all, if you take care of yourself and you're honest and true and good to yourself, then as a consequence you become better for other people as well, because you're not expecting, for example, from them to solve your problems, because you already thought about that and you took responsibility for that. One of the worst things, in my opinion, is when you go into a relationship where the other person is unhappy and you think, I take responsibility, I want to help that person. You have this messiah complex. You're like, I really want to help. Um, but that person is looking for you to solve their problem. And that can never happen. It's impossible. And you're thinking your love can magically somehow cure that problem. Unfortunately, people have to be responsible for themselves first. I believe that. And I think, only if you're like, if you take care of this and you go into a relationship with someone amazing, it can only get better, right? Because you're good, you don't look for the other person to fill a hole inside you. You're not taking away from that energy. You're contributing together to something, and it then builds up, and you have this cumulative effect. Otherwise, it's just this kind of feeding off of each other. So yeah, I mean, that's why I'm telling you. For me, this therapy really worked, and it's amazing. I'm still surprised. I take notes after some of the sessions when I found some
How long have you been
incredible
going?
memory that I forgot. But yeah, like
Ah,
six
really?
months.
I thought it was more. That was the first time you started.
Well,
Is the
last year and
No, no, but
maybe
that was the first
October,
time you went ever,
something
right?
like. Yeah, no, I tried once in Bulgaria, but I went only
Uh,
like 2 or 3 times, and
so
it didn't
what do you
really
mean?
connect. I
When
ended
was
up.
it? I mean, what was the difference? Was like, I
Uh,
mean, what I'm asking is your guy good or that's normal?
no, I was not
Uh,
ready back then. It was just my intentions were not right. I was, to be honest, I was
because
trying to
I
do
mean,
it
I
for
thought
someone
a
else.
bit about it while you were talking. Like these therapists, there are a lot of them, right? They're everywhere.
Yeah,
So the
yeah,
thing
that's
is
a
that
big issue, by the way, to
they
choose the right
study,
one.
they study that, right?
Yeah, psychology, psychotherapy, whatever the
So
degrees they have.
they
Yeah, but
understand this
they have
perfectly by just
certification.
studying a few years, right? Isn't that weird?
Oh, yeah. It is.
I
It
mean,
is. I mean, no. Listen, it's like a doctor. Think about it like a doctor. Doctor studies first before he cuts you. He studies how your body looks in textbooks, right? And he practices on dummies, and then he's
and we use them all
maybe
the time,
present in other
right?
people's.
We use them all the time.
Yeah. Where are you trying to get to a point to just say what you're thinking?
Um, I'm just thinking like no,
You're
because there's
saying
like
it's a
it's
waste of time.
complicated topic. We're trying to understand ourselves. Like we're reading this stuff, you know. But these people, they just finished university in 3 years. Like, can anyone do it, or you know, don't you like don't?
I don't know. No, I mean they also have like, for example, this guy. I don't know what's the procedure. I've never examined like the career path of a psychologist, but I know this guy, for example, is a member of like the British Association of Psychiatrists and has like 15 years of only of practice or more, like 20 years maybe of practice already working with people. And that's where the experience comes. So at least, okay, this is one way to look for it. If you have no idea and no recommendations and no other way to check, see how old the guy is, right? Because you don't get into it when you're 50. Usually they start young, right? So if he's an older dude, you're like, okay, this guy's seen a lot, he's talked to a lot of people already,
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
and that is some knowledge because it's not just any information. It's like the most intimate, the most sacred secrets you share with them. So they really know people intimately, and see the worst of people and the best of people. So yeah, I mean, this must add to it. This experience for sure is adding to it. I mean, it's one of those. It's also one of those vocations where I think it's like you need to have a calling. It's like the job of a teacher, the job of a priest, the job of a musician, too, in a sense. But these guys, they should have. It's not about the money. I hope it's not. I hope that this sort of pursuit is like you need to have a real calling to want to
No,
help
just think
people,
about their
to
skill.
to
Like
be
they
with
have a
people.
skill to know how to make you happy, right? Or I mean, that's the goal. What's the goal? To feel happy, right?
I don't think that's a goal. I don't think that's a goal. I think the goal for them is healthy. The word is health, not happy, because happy could
So
be
what's
like,
the
oh, you
difference?
want
What's the
that, go get
difference?
it. And well, I'm telling you, in my opinion, it's they're medical professionals. So they try to help you find what's the healthiest way for you to move on with your life. What's the best thing for you to do so you avoid dangerous things to yourself, so you choose the best things for yourself and you're in peace
Yeah,
with
but
yourself. I
that's
think that's
such
the
a
ultimate goal. And maybe happiness is a
but
side effect
it's
of
such a
that,
hard
right?
question, right? Like you have to understand.
It's
I
very
mean,
hard.
that's no,
Uh, I mean, you listen to Jordan Peterson, right?
yeah,
He was I don't I think he's not practicing anymore, but he's been a very very active therapist. So he was talking about this many times that he, for example, would coach his patients on career options. Remember, he was talking about women, how he was helping women with their careers because mostly a lot of these people, go into therapy when first of all they make a lot of money, and they have these issues. So these are professional people usually at some good place in their careers, right? So these people talk a lot about careers. They talk about jobs 90% of the time. Oh, this guy at work, this girl, oh, whatever. So at the end, at that point, the therapist is like almost advising them to their career. So it could be anything depending
so
on what's
this
the
guy
issue.
knows
So for you,
everything.
maybe the
It's
issue is
like I can
relationship.
help you with your career. What the hell, man?
Yeah, man. Like that's the thing. Like imagine if you find a company that
No, no,
steals all
but
the
imagine that
information from
you're
these
a
guys.
psychologist. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like you're.
Ah, you mean like I'm gonna know the
Yeah.
best advice in the world that I
No,
can
no,
just
no.
for
I
a business?
mean, it's like yeah,
Uh,
and you know it obviously, and it was psychology.
what if these guys are just getting together and laughing and like, look at these idiots, man. Look at this. This is for the 50th time this week I hear about this business failing. It's like definitely don't do this.
Don't do what?
No, I mean imagine when therapists
Ah,
get together and start drinking, like, oh man, this guy, come on, it's the 50th time or whatever.
I
So,
thought you meant to talk
yeah,
about
I
us.
hope they don't
Anyway,
share. I mean, they're supposed to be confidential, right? It's supposed to be. Has anyone written anything or any comments or
yeah, no
nothing?
one has written nothing. Because, I mean,
Is anyone watching at all?
like two people, yeah.
I think one of them should be
No,
you because you have it all.
I I don't think
No?
so.
Okay.
Otherwise, it will be weird.
Well, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If anyone's watching, if you have any questions, let me know. I can hook you up with therapists, with dealers, and anything. So, yeah, I mean, this is one topic that I wanted to talk about because I think, it's one of those things you shouldn't be ashamed to talk about. And especially for people not like me, the people that actually really have a problem and really want to get some help. So these people also sometimes feel discouraged because of this conception that, oh, it's like you must be crazy. There's something wrong with you if you're going to a therapist, right? So I think people should think about it
But
differently
isn't
and
there like a? But it's
because it's a
weird.
very,
There's a different word for that, right? It's psychiatrist, or it's the same. Yeah.
it's
So
different,
it's
yeah.
different words.
I think that's for a legal reason because if you're insane, like if you have paper, you know what I mean? If you, for medical reasons or for legal reasons, you're like stapled with this
Yeah, I know, no, no. But the thing
tag,
is, yeah,
then you need that person, and also because they're allowed to do other therapy. Maybe they're allowed to
yeah.
prescribe
So it's
different
different things. I mean,
medication,
it's
do
different things,
different.
different words,
Yeah,
but people think it's the same thing.
yeah,
I mean, they make fun of you, right?
yeah.
But it's different. It's a therapist.
Could be the reason. Yeah, but I mean they're related. Oh man, this is interesting. Do you know? Once I read, I was very interested, and I told you about one of my ideas for one of the stories that I'm still haven't written. This is one of the plans for the future. I've been very interested in the idea of schizophrenia. It's not nothing funny about it, but it's because I've been thinking about it. I've read a lot of views about it from indigenous species, indigenous peoples. And for example, do you know what the shamanic view is of a person who, well, is ill mentally, like a schizophrenic?
Demons, right?
They don't say that this, no, no, they say that this person is
What?
gifted, like that he can hear the voices from somewhere else, but they can't. Like that he has the gift. So instead of saying this guy, there's something worse with him, they say it's something better. Like they almost look up to him in a sense. They say this poor
You
guy,
know, there's
take care of
another
him
thing.
because he's gifted.
The word amateur. It's something like this too. Anyway, it's the same idea. Yeah, they changed the
Really?
meaning, but it was meant to
What is it?
mean something completely. It was, I think, I mean, I forgot, but it was
Like
like
what?
a innovator, discoverer, person who like tries new things. I mean, he was like, I think that was. I mean, I read it somewhere recently, but it was a good adjective, you know. And then quickly it changed to.
Could be. Ah, you mean it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
positive
yeah,
connotation?
at first. Anyway.
Like maybe the one who's brave to try
Yeah,
something new
exactly.
or something. Yeah. So in this case, it's very interesting, and the reason it's interesting to me is because I think there is a different way to think about it, which may not be right, but it makes sense logically. What if these people, the reason why they have this issue is because they're really sensitive? Like usually it happens after a trauma, right? Some traumatic
But
event unlocks this,
what exactly
and
happens?
they,
Like, what's the?
well, to put it very, very dumb and simply, they hear voices and they see things that are not there. And sometimes they hear them nonstop, so they cannot focus. So that's why they can't talk to you because as I'm talking to you, I'm hearing these voices, and sometimes
But yeah,
I get
yeah.
them quiet, but
So
sometimes
it's
they
like
keep
they're
it.
constantly
Right.
on
That's
shrooms, right?
constant, constantly right. So what if it's like their minds were so sensitive that when they're broken by some terrible event or some abuse or something happens in their lives, that unlocks this filter, and all of a sudden their minds start like creating like so much noise, or they start picking up something, but it's fascinating to me because now there's a lot of studies and people are trying to use psychedelics in a controlled way to, like, like the microdosing thing, and like to try to do that in a controlled way to
Wait, you tried that?
get ideas or
You
get
tried that
creative.
recently. So what
I
what
try. I
happened?
can talk about this too. Yeah,
You didn't
let's
tell
talk
me.
about it. Yeah, let me tell you. I'll tell you now. But the point is, like, people are trying to kind of mine the psychedelics But what if they were mining schizophrenics? What if you can somehow hook them up to, okay, this is my idea to my story, so I don't want to reveal it, but what if you can somehow measure what their activity is and then pick up some information from that other place that they see that might be useful for others, maybe not for them, but for society or something. Anyway, but let me tell you what happened with the microdosing. So for 4 months I did I microdosed mushrooms for like I did half a gram. No, no, like
Zero point 0.5.
no, 0.1, 0.1 to 0.2 grams. No, 0.2 grams per day, 5 days a week for four
Isn't that
weeks. I
still a
did
lot
that.
or it's not?
So I did no, no, even over a week. That's not even a gram because 0.2 times 5 is 1 gram over the
Sounds
whole
like a
week.
lot. I don't know.
1 gram. So well, that's what the
Doesn't
protocol. I
sound
didn't
very
came up with that.
micro
That's what I
for me.
read. So it's like zero point 0.2 every day. So in the morning on an empty stomach, I ate it. I felt nothing. I
But
have
but
to
the thing
tell
is,
you,
you've
man, I'm
always had this
disappointed.
issue with these things. You always needed much more for some reason, you know.
Uh, Are you, do you
Yeah,
think
you
so?
remember the story?
I mean, I
I
have
mean, I
friends.
remember when you told me about Amsterdam. Like you had, you didn't.
Yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah. Well, you see,
No, I
I
mean
had
your
those,
immunity
but
is much higher. Like you need a lot more.
could be, could be. But the point is, okay, maybe that's right. But I felt exactly the same. The thoughts I had, the emotions I had were my own, and there was no, I know how mushrooms feel. This didn't feel like that.
No, but
That's fine.
that's
I mean, the
not.
idea is that you
Yeah,
should have no effect.
yeah.
Yeah, the idea is that it's like over time it starts to affect you. But I didn't feel anything, and I stopped after a month because I thought this. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. So it was the same emotions. There was no like it wasn't an overwhelming increase of the usual things that they look for, like less anxiety, more kind of positive attitude, or I don't know, more creativity. I didn't feel any of that increase. They were at the same level throughout the whole thing. I had even some sad moments, so it didn't prevent me from that. And so I feel like maybe that's just a myth. There's no significant evidence. All the evidence is anecdotal at the time. It's people saying, like, I think this. And the only studies that have ever been done are on medium to large doses. So anything after 3.5 grams. All the studies, the John Hopkins University and the other places that have studied it, it's all large doses. So I don't think, I think it's like a nice idea. It's very cool. It's like, Silicon Valley or whatever, but it's just to me it's a hoax. It's not a real thing.
Maybe you just needed more, you know. But
Yeah. But man, this is
I mean, it's
yeah,
weird
so
if it would have no effect. That's weird, isn't it?
maybe not. Maybe it was too little to have an effect. That's the thing. I was thinking, what's the point? Even if it has an effect, if you take a bigger dose, you get the same effect emotionally and everything. Plus, you have these amazing travels through space and time and everything, right? So why take away the cool stuff and just leave this? And at the end, like I say, I didn't even feel that. So I felt nothing. But the idea is that you cut away the visuals and everything. You cut away that, and you leave the positive emotional, like no anxiety and feeling positive, and feeling
Oh, by the
more
way, we
meaning
have
in
a
the things
comment.
that you do.
A comment.
Who wrote
Augie,
what they
Augie,
wrote? Right.
he wrote, "Hell yeah."
Oh, hey man. Hell yeah, man. What's up, man?
Actually, it's not
Listen,
Augie. It's not
let me
Augie.
show you
It's
this.
Ori Lux. Some artist, some local. It's some local
Oh my God,
artist.
let's break this out. Go to motherfuckers. Listen. Go to Spotify and Google Ori Lux. And that's the guy. That's Ogi, the one and only. And look at this. So this is a postcard I got from my birthday from Mogi, and I have it there on the
Damn.
wall, and it says "Happy Birthday." And look at this. Can you read this?
Should I read this? I can. Should I? But people can.
Yeah,
Boggy,
go ahead.
I'm pretty sure that the guy on this card is you. He looks like you. He has a head like yours, and he grows plants. What? So happy birthday, Augie 2020. Grows plants. Do you grow plants? Yeah, you grow plants. Okay, but they're not
That's
plants. Are they
yeah.
plants?
They're not exactly plants. Yeah, they're
They're the
better than
third kind.
plants. Thanks, man. Thanks. So yeah, go ahead, look for Orilux. Listen to Wait, what was the? Can we play some music now? Can we
If
actually
you
play
play
it?
it on your phone and put it near the
The speak.
microphone, or maybe I should do it.
Yeah, yeah. I'll do it
No,
actually
I should do
because.
it.
Oh no. Yeah, yeah. You do it. You do
But
it. Let's play the song. Let's play Yogi's song. That was the
I had to
intro
find my
to
phone.
our. Go to Spotify. Yeah, go find your phone. And I'm gonna talk in the meantime. Thank you, Augie, for listening. Guys, try therapy. It's nice. Don't be afraid. What else do we talk about? We talk about childhood, talk about careers, talk about psychology. A career in psychology, not a bad thing. It's really nice. At least the studying part is fucking awesome, even if you
Man, you
don't
know
do it
what
at the end.
like what year is it? It's 2020. And this Spotify, they still
Yeah,
haven't fixed their issue. If you're on Wi-Fi, then you switch to data, they disappear. They're like you're offline. This issue has been there forever. Anyway, which song? Alpha One.
I don't know. Yes, yes. Let's play Alpha
Do you hear
One, the
it?
theme song.
Yeah, probably.
Take a dance.
What? Anyway, that was the song we used on the podcast from the first season. Should I?
Yeah,
What do I do now? What should I do?
just chill, man. Why don't you use the disco lights in the back? Change the lights. Do you have them to
It's
play
not disco
music?
lights. It's just lights. They're just fun.
They're
Uh,
working.
do you hear it? Oh yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, the shit, man. This song, I can listen to this forever. It's so good. The best song, man.
Yeah.
That's very jealous. But this is the best thing, man.
By the way,
Okay,
it's
thank you. You see, this
it's
is
nice
how
to have
good
a song because I
I
don't have to
liquids coming out.
I don't have to talk when you're away. I just play the song. Yeah.
You probably can't see shit now. Let me show you something. This is a banana.
Uh,
Banana for scale.
yeah. But how big is this banana? How big is it? I need a skill for that. You know, they're small bananas.
That's the trick, man. How do you measure a banana? This is how,
They're
man.
not the
This is
same.
what they should have done in Westworld. Instead of asking what's the negative, what's the fucking whatever negative one, they should have asked, how do you measure a banana if the banana is the measure? This is the biggest paradox in the universe, man.
Anyway, you might be a giant. You might be a you.
Yeah, because like for example, a meter, right? You say
Mm-hmm.
one meter, 2 meters, 5 meters. A meter is the measure. How do you measure a meter? You can. 1 meter is 1 meter. Oh, 100 centimeters. So you have to have something that's 100 times smaller than a banana, and you say one banana is 100 mini bananas,
It's not
whatever
mini.
this is,
It's micro or something. I
micro
don't
bananas. God damn it! You know what I mean? And what should we talk about? Yeah, we talked about schizophrenics, right? Sensitive people, man. Don't fuck around with them. Don't joke too much because they're sensitive.
know. Yeah, they might kill themselves or someone else or get really sad.
Yeah, life is good, man. Remember, life is good. You have therapists, you have music, like fucking Audiolux, man. Alpha One. I'm waiting for Alpha 2, to be honest. Like, whenever Alpha 2 comes in, I
No,
think
but
it's
there
going to
is
be a good
another
trilogy.
song.
With Alpha 3 kind of making a perfect circle back. See, I feel the emptiness without the music now. You should play some music like quietly in the background.
Yeah, we don't want to feel the emptiness. Let's play some quiet music in the background.
Why don't you play one of your songs with the band?
It's not quiet. What was I going? Oh yeah, I'll play you one nice song. It's my favorite song. Where is it? I'll play you my favorite song. Huh?
Is it royal? I hope it's called Stormy Sounds
No, it's
royalty free.
called. Oh, what if we get this demonetized? Wait.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look for royalty free.
Oh,
Put on
royalty free.
YouTube some
God
royalty
damn.
free. Just
Are you sure? But I
yeah,
can play all my favorite
yeah, yeah,
songs.
yeah.
No,
Okay,
no,
play
no,
it. We're
no.
gonna talk over it, so it's
Okay. So I
man.
should play what?
Okay, play some royalty free music. Royalty free synthwave.
All right.
Google that. Royalty free synthwave on YouTube. That's how I've found more. See, a tip for all the old fans. This is how I was looking for videos sometimes for music for some of the videos on the background. All royalty free because otherwise they demonetize the video and the 2 cents you'll never get from it, you're not gonna get them twice.
But what if they're lying? What if it's not royalty free? Hmm? What if they get royals?
Oh, did you start playing it?
I starting.
I don't know.
I
Maybe they did.
start it, playing it, but it's buffering or something, which means my internet is dying again.
So far it's good.
Yeah.
So far so good. Listen, man. What else? Tell me something. Pick a topic. So far, it's all topics come from me, man. Everything came from me. Like you give me a topic.
The comments. We have a new comment. It's
Yes.
from Orelux again, and he says,
Uh-oh.
he says, just keep talking, guys.
You know, just keep playing the fucking Alpha 1 and we're gonna talk.
But I don't know, man. So I don't know. Let's talk about the dark future because it's going to
Yeah,
get really
let's do
dark.
that.
Because
Man, have you read any sci-fi books recently?
recently,
You used to read some, but recently.
I don't think so. I mean, the last one I read was, I think,
What was the
this
last?
Children of Time one.
Yeah, did you
It
like
was
it?
alright. Yeah, I liked it. It wasn't something completely wow, but it was nice. Yeah, I mean, it made sense. I mean, what happened, like the story, how it went, and it was kind of satisfying, you know.
It was I like that there was this like over a really long period of time, and they somehow managed to create these the same character, even though they're two different generations. Remember,
Yeah,
because
what?
I'm, for
I
example, now
remember the name of
I'm
the main
writing.
one. Wait, Portia, Spider. Yes. How do I remember
Yes,
this?
Portia. Right.
Jesus.
So
What is it?
I'm thinking now in my writing, for example, I'm trying to be conscious of the POV, of the point of view of who is actually describing this,
When I
the
clicked
narrator,
on
right?
ad, when
Because
I
you can
clicked
have
on
a
ad,
narrator.
it played immediately, but I can't play any other video.
Nice.
So these ads, they work
Wow.
without internet now. Anyway.
God damn it. You'll be in the grave and there'll be ads, free ads for the grave, for
So
the
there's no
afterlife.
escape.
Do you want the best afterlife? How about you watch this video before you? Okay. If you wake up in
These
the
ads should
grave,
go home.
you have five more minutes to live before your oxygen ends up. How about you watch some ads? Anyways, so remember when we used to do fake commercials, commercials of commercials.
So,
Remember when I did commercials of
oh,
commercials?
what I mean, commercials of.
I did a commercial of
Oh
commercials
yeah, oh yeah,
once.
oh yeah, yeah, I
Remember,
remember.
I said,
Yeah,
"Hey,
yeah.
want to get some commercials? Well, here you go."
Make a commercial of this banana. Yeah, that's right. That's the one.
I need some background music for it. Play some
I
music.
have
I'm
six,
gonna
six
do a commercial.
seconds only loaded. I can loop it somehow. I just have to click to the
Okay,
back every
go
time.
back to Spotify. Go back to Spotify. If it's buffering, go back to Spotify. Play anything on Spotify. Alpha One. Yeah. Guys, listen to this. Bananas. They're different than us, yet you can put them in your mouth and they become part of us. So make bananas part of themselves by consuming. Makes them happy. It's
I really
weird.
hope that's not the
Their
thumbnail.
outer shell,
Anyway.
the outer shell remains, but the inner self is integrated with yourself. You become one. You're being impregnated by the banana, and then you're giving birth to your poop child. Sure. That's another commercial, but the banana is the first nice part, the impregnating. Like all the semen from the banana going inside your own belly, and then the life gestates there.
Uh,
That's bananas for you in a nutshell, guys. Go buy them.
By the way, you read Slaughterhouse 5?
Yeah,
It was very interesting idea, right? Like where time is not linear, like stuff.
I don't remember much about it, but yeah,
I really like.
was it also around the
Yeah, but
war?
that's
There was
yeah.
it was during.
Yeah, it's the war. But no, I like the idea where the time is, it's not linear. It's just there because they were constantly just going through these memories back and forth, and the guy was, it was weird, very weirdly written. Like he knew when he died, he somehow transcended back and he started exploring his life, something like that. Because time was always there. Like
Right,
you
right, right,
just
right.
live through moments. One like it just, it's not in. It, if you take over control of time, like you start going through your memories back and forth because they're all already there. So anyway, I just think, have you ever felt like you experience something, you already know how it ends in the end, like it's already over. Weird.
I don't know. Never had that. Experience something and it's over. Usually, I don't know. It's a short. It
No,
must
no,
be
you
a
know
short
it's over.
experience.
Like when it will end, and it's like it's already ended.
Like you can see the
No, no,
future. You have
yeah,
precognition. It
something like that.
starts and
Yeah,
you see the end.
I guess.
If it's something similar to something I've done in the
You
past,
just have to jump
like
over to
yeah,
the
I know
next
this is
part.
going. Yeah. Yeah, we do. We have a lot of auto responses. Like this. There's so much we do without ever thinking about it, without questioning it. It's the song is the shit, man.
It's the only thing we have now, for some reason.
It's the shit. Um, yeah, this is gonna be like always in the background, guys. We're gonna do a couple episodes just with the song on loop, just so you get relief from it.
But
I
is it
want the
royalty?
lyrics too. I want
Dude,
to know
it's
what
not royalty
they're
free. Augie
saying.
will now take everything. You know?
You will take all the
Yeah,
royalty from our video, man. God damn
we'll
it.
be broke.
Yeah, royalty. It's a royalty. Ah, yeah. So we are talking about Children of Time, right? And you said you like Porsche, and I was saying that
What did I
I
say?
like the point of view
I
because
didn't say that.
Porsche, Porsche,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
name of
I
the
remember it. I
one of the
didn't say I
spiders.
liked.
Yeah, no, you just
Yeah.
said you remember it. You're right. But so like through the different generations, you have Porsche in
Yeah.
every generation, right?
But that's
So
not
like
her.
this
Yeah, it's not.
generation,
It's
and then
the same archetype, but it's not exactly her. Like she's dead.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
It's
it's
the
the
same
same
archetype.
name, right?
The
And
same.
it's
It's
amazing. Like
archetype.
you see the yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That was amazing because you have that, but not that only in the book. So this book nonstop switches between narratives. So yeah, and between points of view. You have this, then you have the people on the ship. Remember how the guy was deteriorating and like
But
like prolonging
let's not
his
spoil
life.
it. Let's
Remember
just
this?
recommend it, and maybe. Oh, make a
Yeah,
commercial
those
of
are
it.
not
Make
exact
the trailer.
spoilers. All right, let's make it commercial. But let's make it you and I
Ah,
because we both have done. Are you gonna play?
what music? I can just watch. I mean,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, don't
Play
push me. I won't do
some
anything.
sounds
Yeah, I'll play some. Oh,
sounds of nature.
but it will probably be royalties. Let's try this again.
Play some sounds of nature or something like ambient
What about the
sounds.
synthwave?
They're on Spotify.
Ah,
Okay, synthwave. Okay.
they're ambient now. Okay, wait. Now I want ambient noises. Ah, it's like okay.
Okay. For this, I need to change the lighting.
It's the final countdown. It's the perfect. Whoa, it's too dark, no? Perfect.
This one, guys, it's a commercial for a book called Children of Time. Do you understand what I'm talking about? There's both children and there's time involved, bitch. Do you understand? So simple. Put two good things that work by themselves, put them in devices. Time. Wait, you want children of love? Time. And you're really like fighting about it. Yeah. Hey, this Riot ethic. That's so true.
Uh, we have any comment?
I think there was no spoilers, right? It's
I
safe to
think
say.
so. No. We have any comment?
So
It's
yeah.
from Aurilux. It says this time it's some abbreviature. Are you ready? Are you ready for a
What's that?
abbreviature? Like
I'm
it
ready for
means
a
something.
abbreviature.
It's just the first letters.
Okay.
PWNED. What does it mean?
What's the third
N
one?
E
N
D.
E D
What?
V.
P.
What's the first one?
No, not B.
V W.
First is P like pelican.
Up. Uh-huh. P
N
W
like the N word.
N. Yeah.
E like eagle.
E.
And D like dinosaur.
Yes.
I think I did it for
I
you.
will see.
I just told you the words. Anyway, whatever.
You
God
did.
damn
Yeah,
it.
you did it. But this is like 12-year-old kids are into this now. I didn't know you're into this, but okay. So I'm disappointed both with Orilux and with Steptrue for this attempt to destabilize this situation and make a fool of me. Make a fool of me in front of everyone right now. Like, how dare you? What is this? You spell it, but spell it wrong, but it's P, but it's the N word. But come on, man, what the fuck? Only to make me sad to see me cry. Is that what we're doing this
I
for?
didn't say what is a W though. It's a waterfall.
Talk about something for a second and play some music. I'm gonna be right back.
Listen to this bit, to this text.
Whoopie dee scoop, scoop dee dee whoop, whoop dee scoop dee poop, poop dee scoop dee whoop, whoopie dee scoop whoop poop, poop dee dee whoop scoop, poop, poop, scoop dee dee whoop, whoop dee dee scoop.
Anyway, that was that's Kanye West, man. He's genius. Yeah, yeah.
Really? Wow. Very, very talented. Never
He's
knew.
famous for his lyrics,
Knew that.
lyricism. He's very deep. And I need water.
Well, so, meanwhile, I'm going to tell you a few interesting facts about Steph True that you don't know. Steph True is has had a cat for a very long time. It was in high school. The cat was there. You know, eventually the cat got so old and it died. And her name was Jessa. Wasn't that the name of the cat, Steph True?
Mm, no, it was. Yeah, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. What should I say? It was, yeah.
The truth. Say the
It
truth.
was, but I can't answer your
And
question.
nothing but
Because you asked me, wasn't it?
that
But you
was
asked
the
me,
name of
wasn't it? Should I say yes or no? Yes, it
yeah.
wasn't, or no, it wasn't.
Yes.
But
Yes,
it's
it
the
was.
same.
See, I got you
No, you
there.
didn't. I told you
Point.
you won't get me.
Gotcha. That was. Can you write it down? Write it down. PW. This is. I got you. Got you this time. So that was the name of your cat, and she died, right?
Yeah. Otherwise, she
I
would be
hope so.
27
Anyway,
this year. But she's not.
she should very much be dead
Exactly.
now by now. I hope so. For the everyone involved. And and you
By the way,
also had
you know,
Sea Turtle.
we'll become immortal. Like, maybe not us, but our kids, or. I mean, soon, right?
You kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
mentioned that before, but I
But
didn't know that. So can you explain that
I
story?
don't know.
Because I haven't watched
They
it.
just discovered a lot of things. How, why do we get old? And kind of ways.
Why?
it's like
Why do we get old?
I mean, I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's a lot of defects like that accumulate on cells.
Yeah, everyone knows
Yeah,
that. It's like a copy machine
yeah,
that
but
does a copy of a copy of a copy.
they're figuring out how to slow the process, you know.
So
I'm
how?
not exactly sure, but they make a lot of progress, and they say that it's close, like it's maybe much closer than AI, you know.
And you mean
Yeah,
complete
I mean,
immortality or?
uh, or you just get older slower. Like you maybe get to 200 or 300 years old, you know.
Oh, but not in the thousands.
You have to start somewhere. But that's I
I
think that's
really,
close
really hope for the
to
thousands
extend it.
because I'm not gonna do it until they get to the
And
thousands.
you'll look young, I think.
See,
Anyway, the thing is, I just thought of this when they discovered this.
I'll actually age backwards because I already look 60.
They also have to
From
make your cat immortal, so it's like a an immortal cat.
why?
Because you
What do
love
I need the
her.
cat for?
You don't want the cat to die. No,
You love her. I
no,
don't love
no.
her.
Okay,
You
your
love
dog,
her.
Toby, he'll be immortal. That's
Yes,
funny,
that would
right?
be great.
I mean, because the dog. No,
That would
no,
be great. No, actually, I was hoping
no, no,
he
no,
dies
no,
because I get another one, a different
no,
breed
no.
this
But
time. You know, like this is all
but the thing is, the dog
too
is
much.
like it's living its natural life. You know, it's an animal, and you make him.
No, but don't you think the dog owners are secretly kind of happy that the dogs are leaving only like 10 years? It's like you make a mistake and this dog is like always
Yeah,
pissing
but
your couch. I was
maybe
like, ah,
what if you don't
well, at least
what
in
if you
10
don't make a
years he's
mistake?
gonna.
Anyway, the thing is like this dog, it just came naturally on this earth.
I also have a cart. I
It,
was
the thing is, okay, but
I understood you. If we slow down time for us, we also want our pets to be with us. So we have to slow it down for
that's not
them.
my point.
So, but does it? No.
The point is
What's the
that the
point?
dog, it was evolving naturally with evolution, right? It didn't reach the stage yet, and you just give it to him, and it was like, what the fuck? I mean, I didn't want to be immortal, you know. This dog just wants to live its dog life. Why do you
Right.
make it immortal?
Yeah, but don't you think that a simpler organism than us would not mind it
Yeah,
even
but
less than
still, it's
us?
weird.
Like we have problems. So like if, imagine also like we're talking about mental illness, right? Imagine you have mental problems and you have to live for 300 more years with these problems, right? Animals don't have that many issues. Their psyches, their brains are smaller. So
No, I'm not
because of
against it.
that,
Just,
if
I just think
like
it's
Toby's
funny.
just happy with running around and eating food and whatever. And if you say you're going to do this for 200 years, the dog is going to be, yeah, great. You keep doing the same thing for another 200 years. But with humans, we keep changing mentally also and accumulating different, I don't know, issues mentally. And that they don't explain that, right?
Oh,
So
you're
how
right.
does the extended age affect
Maybe
your
you'll get deeper.
psychology? Because immediately, like, they boost you. You can live for 200 years and look like the same way, but you're mentally like, oh my god, I should have Alzheimer's now. What if you have Alzheimer's? Because they don't prevent that for
Ah,
some reason, like mental illness. Okay, that's a physical illness, but because it
yeah.
deteriorates
Yeah.
the brain cortex. But
It will.
but what if it's just
No,
mental?
what
Let's
if it's
say,
just what? What do
and
we
then
just say? Let's just say what it is. It will be something.
yeah, I mean, it's going to affect the psyche, and maybe new psychological disorders will come. Only like after 150 years, all of a sudden you get a new
Yeah,
disease that makes you
but also
crazy,
they'll
like
get deeper
Barkley.
into knowledge, like because you'll have a more lifetime for knowledge, you know, like the
Yeah. Well, that's ideally
because
the
if
idea, right?
imagine if Einstein lived for 100 years, he'll have discovered so much more things, maybe in quantum physics and so much deeper, but
Right.
because some other guy took over,
Right. But what if you're not right?
I don't know, maybe
What
I'm not.
if part of no no listen. What if part of what makes us human is the fact that we know that we're gonna die, that we know that life is short, and it makes you like have more passion and like get to your ideas sooner. You're like
You
these
sound like
scientists that were
this
at the end of their
Unit
lives and like
talking.
Stephen
He
Hawking.
said the same thing, I think. Yeah, maybe he read it in a good book.
I don't know.
No, because
I
the guy
haven't,
is
but
terrible,
the
but he
point
said
is,
something good. Anyway, that you're saying now.
yeah.
So yeah, just
Right. So the point is the mortality influences us. And maybe if you remove that and the guy's like, well, I'll wait with my discoveries until I'm 200. You know how sometimes when you're humans, right, and you do something stupid and then someone says, well, you're in your 20s. And if someone is in the 40s, they say, you're in your 30s. No worries. You're still young,
yeah.
right? But in this case, they'll say that when you're 150. So Einstein will be fucking chasing pussy and not
Not
studying and whatever,
why
and be
no
150
why
years
not?
old.
What if it's not like that? What if it's you just stop aging at 25 and next 100 years you're like that, then you start getting old. What if it's like that?
Could be. Yeah, you never know, I guess, until they do that.
But I think that's what they're doing. They want to extend your physical well-being time.
Well, of course they hope that you don't have these issues, of course. But I mean, you have to take into account that it's possible that something like this will
Yeah,
happen,
but
you know?
that doesn't make it worse. I mean, that's a very I don't know. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I think it will be better in this regard. But it's I don't know. It will be weird because we might be in that generation. It's possible, you know.
Would you do it if it was possible? If by the end of your
Of
life
course,
they can,
of course I'll do
what
it.
if you're like
Why wouldn't you
super
do it?
old and you're like 85 and they say we can stop it right now and you stay like this for 300
Yeah,
years
they
like
mentioned you
85
can
and a half.
also become younger, but I'm not. This will. Well, I mean, this sounds a bit.
No, but check this out. What if it slows it down, but depending on the stage where you start, like you can get to like you be 300 years old and be like look like a fucking sea
But
monster, like a
you always
mummy
think
of a
of the worst cases.
you know what I mean? Because well, because I'm have to be
No, that's not
realistic, and
realistic.
you're a
That's
little
the
bit too
worst.
optimistic. You're too hopeful,
I'm not
and I
hopeful.
ask you this: is this
I'm
possible?
reasonable.
Can we put something on this? Can we put something on the screen also? Can we share a screen?
In theory, yeah. In practice, no.
Can you try the theory
Yeah,
to
well,
make
I'll
it
have to try
practice?
it now, and maybe I'll fail. Oh
Yeah,
no,
try
I
it.
can't show now. I have to click some shit that I don't get when
No,
they do. Maybe I'll
let's open
break it.
something. Let's
No, I can't. Open on
we
your
open some
phone. Open
photos.
on your phone and put
Awesome.
it on the.
Okay, I don't have. You open a. Yeah, you open
What
on
do I
your
open?
phone. Open some photos. Show us your photos. You were talking about Stefan Avramov
Nothing. I
photography.
thought you had
Show
something
some
in
us
mind, not
some.
just something.
No, let's show. Come on, you show one of your photos, and then you show one of my photos, and we talk about. I'll tell you which one to show, and I'll tell you a story
Okay,
about
but
this
you know
photo.
what? Actually, my Facebook, I only can show you in Instagram. Anyway.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. I can bring my
no,
phone.
no, I've.
Hold on. I
Oh
charge
yeah, oh yeah.
charging
Do
the
you?
old one.
Oh, what the fuck? I'm a retard. Do you see that? I don't know. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's a
What is
guy
this?
on
I
a
see it.
thing.
Yeah. Where is this?
Shit.
You took a photo of
Where
this?
is it? It was some village. There was a bell, like this tower with a.
Wait, I'll bring my phone
It's some
quickly.
village, but what was it? Hmm. So you have
Got
a
my phone.
phone? Okay. Ah, you don't have a SIM card. Okay.
The old phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So remember what
Uh,
I'm talking about? Remember what I'm talking about? It's the photo.
this photo, yeah, I
So
remember.
it's
And you were trying to tell
no,
me where it was
whatever,
taken.
it doesn't matter. It's some village, but the thing is, in the center, there's
Yeah.
this bell with like a tower with a bell on the top. So we went there in the night. Oh, it was somewhere on the sea. Yeah, yeah. Silja Moritz. Anyway, so the guy just we wanted to ring the bell, like some kids was like, no,
Yeah.
don't do it. It's illegal. They will fine you and put you in jail or something. Now, and we went and read there was a sign. It was really illegal to do that. So the guy just climbed on it and started doing this. That's it.
Wow. That was such a
Did you even
great
listen?
story,
Anyway,
man.
so
Yeah.
it
I'm
was
trying
great.
to fucking log in. I haven't been even connected to the Wi-Fi here from this phone. Fuck.
So connect. Ah, I know the password. Do you want me to tell you the password of your
Of
Wi-Fi?
what? That's you know the Maltese
No,
one
I know the Sofia one.
or the Sofia one?
It's the
Yeah.
same.
Tell it.
Oh, it's a great Facebook group too.
Yeah.
It's the best for keeping you stay fit. Helping you stay fit. Anyway, some
Yes.
of this.
Yes. We
Oh
should post
yeah.
something there too. Okay, hold on. Oh, I think I connected. Um, yes. Okay, show another photo, and then it's me. I'm gonna load the photo in the meantime.
Just because fucking hell. Just uh, this one. Do you see? Oh, I think it's of the same walk.
Little back,
It's
pull
the
it
same
back a little
walk.
bit. Ah, okay. This
Yeah.
is the moon over the sea.
And I was like tagged it
Nice.
proof because people see that I've been to the sea, you know. So they don't when they ask me like, did you go to the sea? I say yeah. Because in summer you have to go to the sea, right? So when I went at night, I did
Yeah.
my job. Anyway, uh, did you load it? So show it.
Yeah. But if
I
you
mean, I
have
have
something,
some
go ahead.
things.
Okay, so but I need to talk about this first. So I told you when I was in Vietnam, it was so cool in January. I had the fucking luck to be with a guy there who is a professional photographer, and we're going in these caves, and he was, wait, hold on, and he was basically helping me out with ideas to take photos that I didn't know how to take before. Um, and this is one of those photos. So this is, do you see this?
Wait, what? That's a light. It's some light in a cave. Yeah.
It's a cave, but you see at the bottom of the cave the size of the
The what?
tents. We slept in
Oh,
these
that's all
tents.
under cave. Wow.
Yeah, so
Ah.
this is such a
I've
huge
seen this
cave.
one. Yeah.
And this is such an interesting photo because, you know,
Nice.
this is actually uh, 9 different
Wow,
photos
really?
put together. This is HDR
Where's the
because
phone?
think about it, the subject is very difficult. This is 7 in the morning and the sun is shining from here, but, you know, and it's very bright here,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
very dark here. And so you take many photos at
Wow.
different exposures. So you have the colors for it, and
Oh,
then you
yeah,
put it
nice.
together
Yeah,
on
I've heard of
Lightroom.
this. Yeah.
There's
You know, that's the
you put
phone.
it together. But I've never used this
Yeah.
until this guy told me about this. And otherwise, it doesn't look anything like that
Wait,
if you
but
don't do it like that.
yeah,
You
but
either see super
you
bright
did
light
that
or you
by with the
super.
phone, right? Ah,
No, with
nice.
a camera.
Yeah, the thing is that
Stand
that's what phones do too.
on the
They
stand.
take a lot of photos and do that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I also want to learn how to
Uh,
do that with a
but
real camera. I should maybe.
yeah,
But
and this
when do you
one,
do it? You do
and the
it only
settings
when
are
there
important.
like you
So
don't do it for any other purpose. Just when there's a big dynamic light difference in. Uh-huh.
yeah, exactly. When it's like
Now I was
clipping at
wondering,
some
can you
end,
do that? Use
the
this to make some portrait photos somehow? You think? Oh, because
not really,
they
because the
move.
person
Also, they
can be
move. Yeah,
that
yeah.
still.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be blurry a little bit the face. Okay, and this one is another great photo. So this is the same cave, but at night. And this is me at the bottom, shining a light
Wow, I
at the
see
top.
myself in
You don't
the
see it, but the whole,
reflection. Anyway,
yeah.
yeah, there's a light. Yeah, I see. Yeah, nice.
And in
Wait.
the hole, this
So
you can see
it's
the
a guy
stars.
holding it. How did the guy not move?
That's me. So I was standing there
Wow,
for 30
really?
seconds like
But you're
this,
probably blurry too, right?
still, until it
You're
exposes.
blurry too.
I
Ah,
blurred a little bit. I blurred a little bit, yeah, but
uh-huh.
it's not that bad. I
Nice.
stayed pretty solid, and it's in the distance. That's why it's not good for portraits. But yeah, this one is great. And this is just a single photo, but a long
Uh-huh.
exposure. The other one was a
Nice.
composure. And the thing is, like a lot of these photos, man, like it takes me so much effort to get to them. Like a single photo is like so much preparation. Like I can show you this one, and to a point, it starts becoming detrimental. Uh, but but let me show you this. So I go to Ho Chi Minh and I Google photos of Ho Chi Minh. So I see like what are nice places to go to take a photo. And I see a lot of these photos of the skyline of the city. And I'm like, I'm gonna go there. And I asked one of the guys during the day, like, how do you get to where should I be so I can take such a photo? And they tell me go this place. And I go there, but it's like you go through these construction sites and there's like homeless dogs chasing me and there's not it's not lit at night because I want to take a night photo. And they're chasing me these dogs and finally and there's aggressive dogs because it's Vietnam because they eat them. So they're fighting for their lives. They see a man and they eat them and so these guys, they want to eat me. And I get finally to this place, and from a bridge, I'm taking this photo. But this is like effort that I did just to take this photo of
Oh,
Ho
nice.
Chi Minh.
Wait, where is this? Ho Chi Minh.
Uh, Ho Chi Minh City.
Where?
It's the old name of was
But where?
Saigon
Ah, Vietnam.
in Vietnam.
Ah, that's your last trip, right?
And then this, yeah, and this one, for example, this gay photo, the gay photo session.
I
So
don't know
this
why you
one,
look
you
like
see, I don't
Dutch
know if
here
you see
today.
the sun.
You know the Dutch meme.
You like
I don't
what?
know.
The dog,
Doggy.
dog.
It looks like doggy here. Yeah. What the hell? I don't know. But I send it to other people. They're like, no, this is not doggy. So it's like,
So, but here, I'm setting up the camera, waiting for the sunset, man, and I'm waiting for
yeah,
this
it's
fucking
it.
sunset for
It's
40
just
minutes to get that. People are looking at me like, "Are you fucking crazy? What are you doing?" It's because all these photos, you guys, you know, I don't have any friends, so all these photos are just me playing with myself. I'm dancing with myself, hey hey, dancing with myself,
yeah.
this sort of stuff. So what about you? Tell me. So now it's your turn. Show me another photo.
Shit. You see, it's it's grass. It's grass.
Oh
That's
yeah,
actually on Rakovska.
yeah,
Rakovska Street.
yeah.
There is like a bush there, and you see. No,
Rakovska
but
Gras.
you see that?
It's
You see that?
Rakovska Gras.
You see that thing? I mean that. How can I? Did that thing? You see it? It's a mouse.
Yeah, what is that?
No, it's a mouse.
The shadow? Ah, it's ah. Okay.
Anyway.
That's impressive, to say the least.
Oh, anyway. Oh, you remember
That's
this
that's
one?
very impressive.
Nice.
Oh yeah, of course. And why did you have to put it in such a wide frame?
Because it's
Why
not.
did you come up with
Because I
that
wanted
idea?
to have everything there. Because square would cut something important, and if I put it vertical, it's ugly.
Ah,
I don't know. I think.
ah,
I just like this
ah,
way. I like it this way.
ah.
It's like a
Very
picture
weird.
on your
But
wall.
very
You know,
discerned by
somehow
some experts.
sometimes they frame them
Yeah,
like that with
yeah.
big frames. You know.
It's true. It's true. Sometimes they do.
So that was my reasoning. Should I explain more?
They do,
What the hell,
man.
man? Is this some interrogation? Oh, I love this one. Isn't this amazing? Look at it.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is San
it's
Francisco, right?
genius photo.
Yeah.
God damn.
It's amazing, man. Let me play some music while you find photos.
Oh, I can play some. You want to play some Robbie Williams? I mean, you want me to play some?
I can play.
No.
I will play some. I will play some.
Tell
Oh,
me
come
what to
on.
play. It will be better from mine.
I will. Ah, this fucking gay shit, man. Come on. I don't give a shit. People dancing right now. You see them fucking shuffling.
You know who's that? It's Robbie Williams.
Ah,
What?
well, I still
What?
miss him.
No. Not
All
that
right.
one.
Well, I'm joking. I was joking,
We have a new
but I
comment.
don't miss this guy.
It's from
Yeah.
Ori Lux. And it says, it says Toby is the man.
Every 30 minutes, there's a new comment for Hollywood. All right, let me play
Okay.
something now. You tell me something. So I'm going to play something, and you're going to listen, okay? And listen for how that makes you feel, and what that makes you feel, you say. You can start talking now.
Yeah, sure.
You should feel it by now already, so you should be ready to talk.
I can't hear it. I mean, I can't hear my thoughts right now. Yeah,
Is it too
super
loud?
loud.
Should I? Yeah.
Okay. So,
Okay. Is this better?
everything got erased from me completely. I don't. I'm blank. Fuck.
Wow, this song
No,
made you
the
blank.
volume of it.
The
Anyway, I
volume
was
of
just
this
thinking.
song.
Imagine if this quarantine gets extended to like 5 more months. Imagine. What?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Should,
What the hell?
yeah.
Imagine it might happen. You know, I came up
Is
with a
it weird
solution.
that I imagine?
I know how to fix this. No, really, I
Yeah.
know. I mean,
How?
I know math, so I can tell you.
Tell us.
What's the best way to fix it? I know the perfect way to make everyone happy. You know how? So
Okay.
we'll have to we'll have
Ready?
to
Drum
assume that
roll.
after getting it, you become immune afterwards, because that's not very well confirmed. It will be very well confirmed because there are many cases now. So we can assume we become immune after we pass it, right? So now that everyone is home,
Yeah.
hospitals are empty still in Bulgaria. So they should get one sick guy and spread it controllably, with control. So they get the healthy guys, they know you'll be home. You drink tea, you'll be fine. So get everyone sick, and then in 2 weeks they'll be okay, or like 1 week. And just this control spread will make everyone immune. You'll probably be able to handle it in 1 month. And be ready for when someone gets sick, you have place for him to get treated. That's controlled spread. I mean, I guess the downside
Yeah.
now I think of it is that you're not sure what will happen with the uncontrolled spread, because it might spread and you won't be ready for that. You might get fucked up really bad. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe. Very interesting. But I still,
You
if
know,
if
you
you're
know,
saying
you
that they're
know,
still
no,
gonna be
that's
treated,
what.
then I don't know how it's gonna be handled by the hospitals. If you control it, like
No,
everyone
but
gets it,
people
and
they
then
don't need.
all the severe cases wants
They
to go
don't
to the
need.
hospital.
Yeah, yeah, but if you get sick, only young people, healthy ones, they won't need that. They'll just pass it like a normal flu, like normal whatever.
Yeah, so you're saying get
And you
old.
can.
Essentially, you're saying get all the
No, no,
old
no, no, no,
people in
no,
the
no, not
hospital.
not all of
But
them,
then
not all
I
of
don't know
them.
if we have enough
Just
places.
controllably. No, no, no. The thing is, it might not get to them. You can just contain the spread because everyone is immune. They won't spread it. You can just let them go in society, and they will be like stoppers. And there will be a lot of them. You can release them one by like part by part. Just get everyone healthy, like 1/5 of everyone, the healthy ones, and release them back in society. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like mix
No, no,
the
the
healthy
immune
ones with
ones.
the
It's
sick
the
ones.
immune ones. The ones that got healthy, they're immune now, so they won't get it or spread it.
Yeah,
And you release them. In 2 weeks, you'll have a big batch
yeah,
of those people. I assume maybe.
right.
So you can just get them sick, and they'll be at home. They won't spread it. They'll be under quarantine. I don't know. They'll get care. Like they'll eat what I don't know, some tea or whatever. I mean, like a normal sick. You're a bit down. You just don't feel well. That's how mostly people pass it. There's nothing serious. Because a lot of people have it, and a small percentage of them get critical. That's bad now, because that's a lot of people. And the thing is, now we just stay at home. How will they release us? No one has passed it. We're not immune. So, it's a bit. We can be here for 5 months. Did you go? What?
So I had to put the
Of course.
popcorn on. I forgot about it.
God
It
damn
has to
it.
be put on.
You didn't forget about it. I forgot about it. I should have had popcorn.
Yeah. So, because it's a nice special effect to
Especially
eat
now, it's
popcorn,
very pleasant.
and to pop it now, to listen to it pop. So, man, what about we talk about family? How's your sister? What is your relationship with your sister? Let's examine that psychological situation.
No, let's not examine that. I don't think it's the
What?
best time.
I can't hear you. You're breaking up, by the way, for some
Yeah,
reason.
you're
Your
also
mic.
breaking up. You disconnected. No,
I don't know
let's
why.
discuss something else. It's an axiom. We have to discuss something else. But
Can you check if in the last couple of minutes Aurelux has made another comment by any chance?
no, I think he's away already. It's been 1 hour and 20 minutes. Everyone is dead already.
Hmm. Yeah.
Actually, I've been following the statistics. But anyway.
Following
Wow.
what?
Holy shit.
What are you talking about?
USA has exploded today with this
Yeah.
virus.
Did you
Wow.
just read about it now?
Yeah. It's USA is the #1 now with cases. Wait, that can't be right. Is this a bug?
Yikes.
This can't be right.
Yeah, there was like a spike of 80% or something in one day.
No, but the site is bugged. It's not. That's not right.
Well, I don't think they're the first, but they're getting close.
No, but
And
the main
Spain is
site is
already
bugged.
the second. It's now it's Italy, and then second is Spain in the world.
It's bugged. But I got scared at first. Oh my god. Like 50 people in one day. 50,000. Anyway. But that's a weird bug. How did I bug it like that? It's just a sum. How do you create such bugs in this thing? Man, this guy sucks at programming. The one who made it.
I think I took it out too soon, but it's all right.
What do you mean too soon?
They give a pop more. There's a lot of unpopped ones.
You lead them like that, won't you?
Yeah, I
So,
will.
so whatever.
You know,
Who cares?
very well.
It's easier to eat.
They'll pop inside me.
Yeah, you'll just swallow it. You don't need to chew it. It's the same thing. Isn't it the same thing? I don't know.
No.
What happens if you eat them whole?
Let's talk about hair. I think we can make this announcement here. One of our best friends in the world.
But who cares about here? Because no one
Let's
who knows him
yeah.
and
Let's
him
let's include
won't
him in
watch
this
this.
universe of the podcast for a second, and let's use him as an avatar for our own emotions, and use his story as a device.
You want me to put
further
a picture of
ourselves.
him?
Was that? Yeah. Show a picture.
No.
yeah. Show like a high school picture. Oh, you don't have face. All right,
No.
I'll find. So this guy's name is Herg.
Here. No, it's not.
Herg, like Herg. I don't know how to pronounce it better. So Herg is now got his girlfriend pregnant. In other words, he first had sex with her at least once, and he finished inside her. That's what it usually means.
Yep. So.
And then she was ovulating at that particular moment, as luck have it. And so she gets pregnant. The miracle of nature, only for a gazillionth time.
Did you do that quest in Witcher with a baby, where you have to bury the baby? That was a weird one. Anyway.
Yeah. So now they have this baby coming in, and the love has never been stronger.
Yep. That was very
And,
interesting.
we're
Very
happy
interesting
and-
story. That was like some very interesting book. I will be very happy to read that. You know.
How are you gonna be happy to do that? Because this book, look at that book.
Yeah, it's great, man. It's amazing.
Describe what you're seeing, what you're feeling.
I'm seeing my dark past.
Who's
Oh
the
my
other
God.
girl next to you? The Japanese girl next to you?
It's some weeaboo. Oh my
Skeleton
God.
head. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's Eric.
Yeah.
So, Eric, this future, can you imagine? With this girl pregnant. Congrats. Let's see what happens.
You know, this baby, when it will get born in September, right?
Do you want me to take it really really dark?
We'll be still in our flats.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Oh, you know, you can walk dogs in the park right now. That's an exception.
Yeah.
But you can't walk your baby.
No.
So this baby will grow up in an apartment. Anyway, I mean, if
Correct.
it was a dog, if it was a dog, it would be better, but it's not.
Imagine if outside we had lava streets, and we're like in Venice but on lava, and so everyone is just staying inside the houses, and this is live, and you just communicate with tunnels through the different apartments and bridges to other apartments. Anyway, let me tell you a story because we're talking about pregnancies, and you know that one of my favorite authors ever was Philip Dick, and Philip Dick had this amazing story. It was very controversial about abortion. He's a sci-fi writer, right? So usually the way he writes is he takes a, like we were talking about the last time, you take an idea and you change one of the variables and you see how it affects the rest of the world. So his idea is, okay, if we assume that abortion is a term that applies to a baby between the conception and the ninth month of its life, that period is 0 to 9 months, it's called abortion. After that, it's called murder, after the baby is born. But that's only now the legal terms. What if you had a society in the future where abortion was legal from conception until 12 years? So when the baby is 12 years old, and until then you can kill the baby. You understand? So you have these babies. You have a kid. He grows up to be 10 years old. He's a rascal. Doesn't listen. All the worst kids come when the truck.
What? You can
So
abort him when he's 10?
yeah, you
Well,
have the legal right in this society. Like they call it abortion. You don't want the baby.
that's a weird one. That's really
And
weird.
then they have all these kids who are like getting close to 12, and they know that they're not good kids, and they're like, we need to run. We know that it's going to happen.
But that's not
So they
possible.
escape and they live in the forest.
Anyway,
But anyway, it's a very nice story.
that sounds amazing. Then
And
impossible.
challenging concept. Like people are so upset about abortion, but abortion is just a term. It's another word for killing the baby. I mean, it is, and terminating life. You call it for legal reasons. It's two different things, but it is. It doesn't matter that, for example, they say, well, it's not a human being yet. It has just the potential to be. But that's true to anything. Like your brain doesn't develop until you're 25 years old. It doesn't finish developing. When you're a kid, your morality is not developed. When you're
No,
until
no, the thing is,
9 years old, and until so you can always say, well, you're not a complete human because you're 9, or because you're
yeah, but
20.
you don't feel pain, right? They don't feel pain. So,
But what excuse is that? You can put me under medication and kill me so I don't feel pain.
huh,
If you don't want me to feel pain when you
really?
kill me, you can do it now. If it was legal, that's not an excuse. That the pain
Hmm.
means nothing. Same reason as you have people that are paralyzed. Doesn't mean that you can cut their legs off because they don't feel it. No, it's brutality, right? So
Hmm. So,
interesting story.
but you can see why someone would not think that, you know.
No, of course.
So, do you want, you're against killing something conscious or what?
Against stopping a
Stopping,
potential life,
well, but that's also
stopping
very,
a life
that's
from
also
happening.
very, you can also expand it in time, you know.
Yeah, but think about it.
No, I mean, you
You
can,
no.
how
This
far
is my
back do you go? What do you mean you
zero.
shouldn't stop life? Yeah, but that's a weird one. Because you can.
Okay, no. Listen. Okay, listen. You have a one person and another person, and with one way or another, they have a kid. Maybe they wanted it, maybe they didn't want it, but they've done it. Okay, and their life is there, and then you don't know what this person will be. It could be a president, it could be a serial killer. You don't know. It has a limitless potential, and you decide I'm gonna end it. But you don't have a right. It has its separate path already. The potential exists. It has the possibility to go in that direction, and you stop it. You say no. So at that point, why don't you say it at any point? You can kill a baby at 3 months old because you say, well, it's ugly. Yeah, fucking. whatever. Or it's you know what? I don't have enough money. I can't afford this. I thought I could,
I'm
but
just
you know
trying
what?
to give you a counter argument, but it's a hard one. Like, I'm not sure that's also a good justification. Because life can happen in so many other ways. It can happen through actions, just because actions lead to other actions, you
It
know.
could be rape. Yeah,
So you'll be against some action there. That would be weird.
that's really difficult. Yeah, that's the most difficult case in my opinion because well, there are two very difficult cases. One is rape. The other one is if you know that the baby has some issue. Now they're different.
Yeah,
It's not.
exactly. You see that?
Yeah,
Okay, that's the example. Thanks for it.
I know because I have the
No,
counter
no, 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 no,
argument
no,
as
no.
well.
But it's not for that thing you think it is. So you're saying you're for rape because rape creates life, you know?
I wouldn't say that, but
Yeah,
that's a
that's
real
the example.
trigger.
You are no, because rape creates life. You shouldn't stop it. That's what you say.
How you mean if you go back in time?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the
That's what I
actions
mean.
leading.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
That's a very
Yeah,
interesting idea.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
was
never thought
looking for
about that.
that example. Yeah. Goddamn.
That's a very interesting idea. Oh well, isn't that happening now with like the liberals and everything? They're kind of saying, "Oh, you're saying that because
No, but
that
that's
leads to
obviously wrong.
progression of things."
I mean, that's obviously wrong.
But isn't that kind of the same tendency what you described?
No, the thing is, it's not about is their life, is there a possibility to life. That's what I mean. It's not. That's not the argument for abortion. I mean, against abortion. It's
Yeah.
either conscious or possibility. But conscious makes sense. You can say if there is no conscience, there is nothing there. But yours
Yeah.
doesn't make sense in that case with raping. Because,
Yeah. In your case, I can't. I don't know.
conscience starts at a point, but your one's
Yeah.
expands forever in the past.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know how to handle that case. All my arguments are for like from the moment that this other consciousness appears and
So it's
everything being like
consciousness. So it's consciousness.
yeah, yeah.
So you think a baby has consciousness when the first cell splits?
No. Well, we know that it happens at some stage.
Yeah,
Obviously, not at
but
the very
when?
first stuff.
But when?
Well, this is exactly how they fucking made the laws. You
But
schmuck.
there is a point in time when it happens. We're just not sure when. It might be 1 week, 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
So
even if we know,
so the
for
thing is, they
example,
have it
for a
at
fact
three
that it's
months.
at
3 months.
or 2 months. Let's say for a fact, it's 3 months.
No,
Okay.
let's say it's at least
you
3 months.
before the
3 months at least. It's maybe on the fourth month. I mean, 3 is fine. They
Okay.
assume it's after the third.
Okay, let's assume it's after the third. Then everything before that it leads to the inevitable possibility of this happening unless you stop it.
Like rape. You should stop rape on purpose.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. Like if we could go back and so much to stop the rape. It's a cool thing.
You should stop it. You should stop the life.
Yeah.
Anyway. By the way, that's such a nice band.
Yeah. Fleetwood Mac.
What?
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah. I mean, everyone in it's really good. Like, creative.
Yeah.
Drums, everything. Guitar. The vocalists, they're like,
And you know the stories of like Stevie Nicks and the guys in the band and how they were fucking with each other and everything. Like the history of the band is so complicated because they're two girls and two guys, and they have like the guitarist and the singer Stevie Nicks. They started the band together.
Yeah.
They were dating since they were 15, and they were together for so many years. But then fame happened, and he started cheating on her,
Yeah.
and then and slugs, and then they break up. But they still keep the band because the love for the music.
But did
And they go to
did they create music during their?
Yes. And then they have some of the best songs ever, like breakup songs and fighting
Afterwards,
songs.
well.
About the chain. About the chain is about a relationship.
About theirs or? I mean,
Yeah.
no, but about their relationship, or
Yeah. they were basically like flying to concerts, and he would be on one end of the plane and she would be on the other end, and they would not talk to each other and not see each other, and then they would get to the studio and record together, having not seen each other and talked at all. So they only worked,
Yeah, but no,
and then they
I
would
was
get
wondering.
away all that energy
I was wondering if
in the
that's
mic.
from the first album. They were apart.
No, I don't know from which
I wonder if you
ones.
can hear
I
it.
think
You know,
later.
I wonder if you can hear it in the music where it changes.
Yeah, when people know probably. But the thing is, and also then she started dating the drummer afterwards from the same band. And then they break up because he starts dating her best friend.
Which is also in the band.
And no, I don't think. But then like all of this happens, and they it never breaks the band. They still are together, just as ever. And now they're old, and now it's like
But
already like they're over
they had
these.
a concert like 2-3 years ago, I think, on New Year's, or actually last year.
Yeah.
It was not that long ago. I think all of them. They're still fine.
Yeah, they're still alive.
No, but they're still
They're
fine.
over
They're
this
still
stuff.
playing music.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing songs.
It's nice.
Play the
How's,
chain. Or no, you played it
how's the
already.
popcorn?
Or
It's good.
what?
Oh, we have any comments? Oops, I spoiled it. We have any comment? Ah, this. Wow, this sounds like the new Ozzy. Anyway, uh, you wanna read the next comment?
Yeah.
So it's from Audiolux, and it says, listen, I'm still here. What do you think it means?
What? How long ago did you write that?
Shit. Not sure. It doesn't say. Wow. That's stupid. Why wouldn't it say? I guess they're assuming I'm constantly looking, but I'm not. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe assume it's 10 years, 10 years ago. No, 10 minutes ago.
10 years ago.
It was
We're
like,
back
okay,
in time.
just wondered. I'm still here.
Is it just the possibility of him writing it that we can stop? Can we stop the rape? Okay.
Wow. Why not?
So
Yeah, it's possible. You know?
if we stop Ogie's rape,
Yeah.
he wouldn't be born.
Well, you know what happened? What happened in 5 months? I mean, 5 months ago, like someone eats a bat soup in China, and now I'm home. You know? That's.
But hold on. Aurelius asked us a question. Let's be serious.
No,
So
it's
you
not
say
a question.
first.
It's a statement. I'm still here.
What do you think it means?
I know. I'm asking you.
Or did you ask?
No, I'm just wondering what it means.
Ah, he just wrote
No,
that?
he wrote it.
He didn't
No,
write.
he wrote it. But what does it mean?
What did he write?
He wrote, "I'm still here." That's it.
Only that.
Yeah, there is
There
a
was no-
next, but it's next comment. This we're going comment to comment, right? This is different stories. What about this
Okay.
comment? I'm still here.
That means a lot to us. Okay, this means a lot.
Okay, okay, that's good.
And we love you, and we
Yeah,
care
that's
for
one way
you.
to interpret.
We are still here.
Cool, man. Okay. So the next comment, it's from Audiolux, and it says, "This is some riveting stuff." What does rivet mean exactly?
It's like a river, I think. But
Without it.
it's like if
No.
you have a river, but like a T at the end.
That's some riveting stuff, man.
Man, thank you very much, Augie. You riveted us equally with your presence.
Oh, I had a similar moment at work like a month ago. You know what trivial means? Like, what trivial means?
Like what you do every day at work.
But what does it mean?
Meaningless.
Yes, that's correct.
Like it has no value.
Correct. But people use it a lot as something that is easy to do. You know, like my colleague who's always thinks he knows everything. But I just asked him, like, because I had a trap, I was like, do you know what trivial means? If you know everything. I mean, that was like implied, I didn't say it. It was like, isn't that trivial? You know, he didn't know what it is. Anyway. So I got him there.
What a genius.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, do you know what a rat is? Isn't that a rat? Like, it's like a retard. Hey, you wanna suck on my dick? Isn't that suck my dick? Like what?
It's not the same, but
Hey,
sure.
You can't ask
Didn't
her a
get
question.
anything. Anyway. So, where are we going with this? What's the idea of everything? We just. Oh wait! Oh no. Where are we going with this? Is this like therapy?
Going to make
It's like therapy to us or what? Oh god damn it! I mean, it's like fuck. What? The fucking screen is like yeah. I mean that's fine I guess. I like talking, you know, just talking. Even if we have zero, it's like just talking on a, you know, we're not. It's not like we're
Listen, I got my therapy, so this is
No,
therapy
no,
for
because
you.
we are not simulating it. It's not like we're on a table and doing this. Because
Yeah.
we can't be on a table right now. I mean, table or like in live, talk live.
We're on two tables.
No, I mean we can't. We really can't talk live.
meaning
If we
if
have to
I-
talk, we talk like this. So we just stream it.
Man, you reminded me, like a long time ago, when I was a loser. Remember, which was about a week ago. Uh, I I read these books and watched these shit about like pickup, try to pick up girls. I read these books about pickup artists and this shit. And there was this one thing. It's like a game that you play where you describe. It's like you describe this room and these different objects in the room, and the girl has to answer these questions, and then based on her questions, you give her a reading. But it's like obvious stuff.
You give her what?
Like a, okay, it's like okay. Let me do it to you, even though it's you do it to a girl. But let's assume you're the girl. So I tell you, okay, imagine now you're in this big white empty room,
Big what?
big white empty
Okay.
room, and then you have in the middle of the room you have a box.
Yeah.
Describe the box. Where is it? How big is it? How does it look?
It's a small white box made of paper.
A cube. A cube. Let's make it a cube. It's a
A
cube.
few boxes. A few boxes.
A cube.
A cube. Yeah, it's a cube box. Yeah. Okay.
It's a cube. What color is it?
It's
Transparent?
white.
Is
It's
it, does it
white.
have-
It's like dice. It's like dice. It has points, like 1 point, 2 points.
Ah, very interesting. Does it? Do you know where it has a coin on which side? What's the number on top?
No, because the top is open. It's like on. I can't see under it because it's open. You know. The top is open and it's like the number is under it. I can't really see it.
The box is
Yeah.
open. Wow. Okay. Besides the box, and also how big is the box? Like compared to your size, for example, in the room.
Like this, maybe?
Very small.
Yeah, you said small, no? Okay, I said small.
Well, it's up to you.
Yeah, okay, it's small.
It's up to you.
small, yeah.
Small. Besides that, in this room, it's a big room. You have also a ladder.
Yeah. Ladder, okay.
Tell me where is the ladder? How long is the ladder? Where is it in the room?
It's on some wall. Standing. Like one of the walls.
How tall is this ladder?
Like it's leaning, so it's not that. I mean, compared to the roof, it's maybe like the roof, but it's leaning.
Is it very steep or is it like laying down?
No, it's steep.
But does it make it hard to climb up?
Yeah, because it will slide down the wall and you will die. Probably.
Very interesting.
Because it's a slippery room.
Okay. And then in the same room you have a bucket of flowers. Can you describe these flowers and where they are in the room?
They're near the box. They're like red and white. And that's it. Do I hit?
Now, near the box, how is that exactly? Where? Describe it better.
Like maybe 12, like 20 centimeters away.
Okay, pretty close.
Yeah.
And what are these flowers? Like what kind of flowers?
I mean, I can imagine them, but I don't know the name. It's like some beautiful flowers, you know.
Okay.
Oh, I show you on Instagram actually. Like the kind of.
While you find it, I'm gonna ask you the next question. And
No,
then
no,
you have
no.
also a
I'm really
horse.
fast. There they are. Oops. I know why I keep showing it on the mic,
I see it. Okay.
but it's
All right.
red and white, not this.
All right. Now, tell me this: you have a horse now in this room, a living horse.
my-
Well, how or whatever
It's my
horse.
Witcher.
You tell me what
my
kind of
Witcher horse.
Where is it?
It's my Witcher. It's the way it looks in The Witcher. It's
Yeah.
the same graphics. It's not like a real horse.
Is it a good horse? Is it aggressive? Is it
No,
okay
it's
in the room? How
just
does it
standing
feel?
there. Sometimes it gets stuck in the tree, and it can teleport. Like I go somewhere, and when I whistle, it just appears out of nowhere. Like I swim over a river, go to some island, and the horse is there. So,
Nice. I'm gonna love your reading. Okay. And finally, you have a window to look the outside world, and you look at the sky, and you tell me what's the weather like.
it's there's not a cloud. It's not that hot, but it's pretty nice. It's the best weather. Like no clouds, but it's not hot.
Everyone, congratulations that you're for this story. I'm gonna tell you what this means about you, and I'm gonna exactly tell you who you are, and this is how you pick up the girl. You tell her this. So you tell her, listen, Stefania, what you told me, very interesting person. And I hold her hand and I stroke her face or something like that. Anyway, I put my hand in the fucking
Mouth.
not there yet. But and then I say, okay. So when you're telling me about this room, this is like the whole universe for you.
No.
And this is
What
your
about
inner
the
self.
outside?
No, this is your life. This is your life.
Okay, sure.
And then you have inside the box, that's your ego. That's your self.
Nice.
And your box is like a Rubik's, like a
Dice.
thing, dice, which means that it can change the top.
No.
Like it's shift.
Not the.
You can roll
No,
it.
but the top is
it
only on
changes
white.
the-
Oh, I should know where it is.
Exactly, because you don't know where you are.
No, I should have known what's on
Because-
the top because it doesn't change. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, and it's open, but you don't say what's inside. Maybe it's empty. And then you have in the room also a ladder. And those are your career aspirations, baby. Because this is what you think about your job. And then
And this actually,
at
this
this
actually
point, you're
pretty
like,
good.
take a break. You take a break to go to the bathroom and fuck her this point. And then you bring her back, and then you tell, listen. And this ladder is
Yeah,
very
it's
steep
enough by this stage.
and it's super hard to climb. And you know what? You say it's sliding back and roll across the wall and everything. Okay. Interesting. Think about that. Think about that. And then you talk about, of course, the flowers. And those flowers are your friends. You keep them close to your heart, but actually not super close. Sometimes people put in the box or on top of the box. No, you're a different girl. You put them next, but very, very kind of small distance, right? So that's interesting. And there are two different types, whites and reds. Are you grouping your friends into two different groups? But they're still together, which is okay. And then you have the horse, and this is your perfect man. This is the perfect man for this. And he's stable, and wherever you go, he teleports to be next to you.
Yeah, that's me.
It's-
That's completely me. Yeah.
So, and then finally you have the window to the outside world, and this is the world and how you perceive it, and you don't see any problem. And this is
This is
it.
amazing.
And then you
This
go.
is perfect. You know why? I mean, girls
Why?
love this fiction shit, like astrology. You know, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They hear stories about themselves, and they really love this for some reason.
It was called cold reading also.
Yeah, yeah.
And like they do it.
But it's only them.
Self.
I mean, only it's very gender specific. You know, like very weird. Like no men, no guys in this that stuff at all.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
There's probably some
And,
biological explanation in that. Anyway,
Crazy, man.
by the way, I love this song. This song is one of my favorite tastes. Because when I listen to it carefully, like so many things to hear. Like everyone is so I don't know,
It's a great one.
like
You should play also Edge of 17. It's a great one.
everyone is in their zone. Have you seen artists live? Which one you said? 17.
Edge of 17.
Have you
Stevie
seen
Nicks.
artists that are in the music, like when they play, like the age
Yeah.
not age. Shit.
Edge.
I don't think it's on Spotify.
ETG.
Yeah, fuck, it's not on Spotify. You know, some albums are not there. Okay, let me find it on YouTube.
No, it's there.
No,
It's
it's
there.
On Spotify, it's
Open the first playlist. It's there. I have
on
it.
Spotify.
It's Stevie Nicks.
Ah, Stevie Nicks. Because I typed age.
She's from the band. This is the
Yeah,
real
I know,
N6
but I
here now.
typed Flatfoot Mac. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. That's the only good song actually on this album. I tried listening to it. Anyway, so what was I saying? Have you seen these artists when they play that are in the music? Like they're really there's nothing else except the music, and
Yeah.
they're like so in the group in the zone. Yeah, it's amazing. When I saw it recently, I
Yeah.
saw it live, and I was so close to the guys, and I was like, wow! Like every one of them. There were like three, and all three of them.
Wow.
It was very interesting.
Man, I'm so happy that fucking Frusciante is back with the Red Hots, huh? How about that?
I like them without him also. Isn't this album
Yeah,
that
but-
album?
No, it's you know, I really feel for the kid.
Yeah.
Because like I watched some interviews and he was so nice. He didn't say anything, but he said that basically they called him and they were like the deal is done already. They've decided. Bye bye.
Ah,
Like they didn't ask him or
Oh,
anything.
really?
He said they were meeting. Like he said, the Flea and
But he
and
had a-
Frusciante
had a
were
hair-
meeting and jamming.
but he had a very bad heroin problem, you know. Like he was.
That was wrong. This is before Californication. Before before Californication he already cleaned up. He was fine ever
Yeah.
since. It was between 93 and 97 that he was very bad.
And then he wasn't.
Uh,
Oh.
After like 98, 99, that's when they came back together. After Dave Navarro.
So why did they kick him out then?
They kicked him
But
out.
why?
Dave Navarro.
No, but why?
president. Because of the heroin.
But why did it? Why didn't?
Okay.
No, but why did they? I mean, you said that they're disconnected. Why did they kick them out?
Yeah. Because of the heroin.
Ah,
Because of the
okay.
drug
Yeah,
use.
that's what I said. Yeah, I thought something else.
Yeah.
But
So they kicked him out, and then he cleaned up. He can get back, and then they had everything until Stadium Arcadium, and then they broke up, and this kid was there, and then now he's back.
but the album after Stadium Arcadium, it's also good. The one with the fly. I forgot the name. Without.
Yeah.
Without.
There's two out.
What was the name? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But fill in the fly.
It was some U. There was a U, like the. I don't know. But yeah, man, that's. And I think I'm not sure that maybe they might have been on drugs, but what if some people do that without drugs? You know, just play and you get in that state.
Yeah,
I think some people do
I
actually.
mean, they do. Of course they do.
But
They've done this forever. And drugs are maybe more popular nowadays, but what about those? I don't know, Renaissance artists and
yeah.
Baroque classics. Fucking Mozart. He wasn't taking anything.
Hmm.
These guys were motherfuckers, man. They were the best. They didn't have anything to record, but because of that, everything we have recorded is perfect. It's written down on paper is maybe even better than the way they played. Imagine the way that they played back in the day. If you went to a concert of these guys, which we don't have recordings of. But imagine if you could, they would play differently. They would improvise throughout. They would solo,
So
But we
where are
don't
these
know.
guys now? Like, what do they do? I mean, the current.
I'm talking about.
Huh?
I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm
Mozart.
talking about because,
He's
but
dead.
no, but no, I mean the Mozart
Ah.
today. You know, the one who's that level of genius.
I don't know. That's maybe it. Maybe the fact that the technology is so easy now, maybe it broke it.
No, but
Maybe
maybe.
the music is too over discovered already. Maybe
Yeah.
we know everything about it. We have so many
Yeah,
sounds.
because every Mozart out there came out, you know,
You know,
and with this oversaturation. Thing is, it's like so.
maybe there's gonna be a next best thing.
No, because there's so many of them Mozarts now probably that you're like, oh whatever, it doesn't mean much. Because like
Yeah.
actually even you can find some very good artists that no one knows about, and they just created this so much music that's like the shit. They just weren't lucky or whatever. No one noticed them.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know. I think some of them are even on that level. Like, I mean, the style is not the same, but the level, I don't know, like the thought put in it and everything, like the everything. I mean, yeah, it's not a symphony because no one writes symphonies now because no one listens to symphonies. So no one has incentive to do that. I mean, I guess they do, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the current Mozart won't go to write symphonies now. It will be very strange.
Yeah.
Like,
But no, I mean, for sure that back in the day, how many instruments you have? You have the piano and you have a violin, and
no,
that's
but
it.
the thing is, when you write
So
music,
they're right.
you have to write the whole everything. That it's like a whole experience. It's like now you have a drummer and a
Yeah,
drummer.
and because you write it down, it's better than even real life because you
Yeah,
write
that was. But things now you
it
can just
down.
have a bass and drums and you make a concert.
Yeah. What if the way they wrote music was different than the way they played it back then? What if they wrote like a better version? Like, look, I write here all the info, so like it's like a raw image. It has more
Yeah.
information than the final JPEG. And then he's like, whoever's playing it, he's gonna improvise. But now we're playing classical music like exactly the way it was written. What if it wasn't intended like that? And now it's like the whole science is the closer to you are. If you make any change, that's it. You're not a good musician. But jazz, man, jazz is the weird thing. Like some high jazz stuff. I listened to this incredible. We talk about the Red Hot, incredible jam. John Frusciante, Flea, and another guy like a black guitarist I've never seen before. This kid was incredible. He was playing on purpose, hitting every wrong note possible, which is like a whole science to be able to avoid
I mean,
all the right.
Frusciante.
No, the other guy.
I've seen Frusciante do this.
I can say.
But I've seen Frusciante do this.
Well, yeah, he does this too. Like they were playing together with him.
Oh.
And then he was like writing like the bass line, like it was like a really active bass line. And then they were like, but Frusciante was more melodic. He was adding some melodies. This kid was like on purpose, like like everything, all the fucking wrong sounds, but in such a way that it made sense. It created its own
Like
little monster
like a
melody.
dissonance, yeah, the perfect dissonance.
It was amazing.
Hmm.
And then that's an art. I mean, how do you do exactly the opposite of everything you're supposed to do?
Well,
A controlled
maybe
way,
maybe he really sucked,
Make every
man. He
possible
was probably
mistake.
super bad, at playing guitar. Like the lowest level of bad, where you can't hit any note right.
Yeah. And he's like, let me just keep doing that forever until
Apparently,
it becomes a thing.
it's some art.
And I'm the best at the worst. Man, this is insane, man.
What's the same?
No, it's insane. I
That's
mean,
insane.
music is, I admire music so much because, you know why?
Yeah,
Because it's the most abstract expression of,
yeah.
of
It's
our
like
feelings.
encoding. Yeah.
Think about it. In every art form, we're close to ourselves. You see a video, a movie, a book. It's written in your language. You have characters. They have your names. They talk your tongue. Every the speech of every other part of art or photography or something. It's just you, a reflection of you. And this thing, it tells a story, but with characters made of sound. And it exists outside of you in the space of
Yeah.
reverberating sound. And it's abstract. Like, what do these sounds mean? Like, why does it go like? What is that?
But that's also
like, and
that's
it's
also a
melody.
bit weird. One, because like when you hear the Star Wars song, you imagine like sci-fi stuff or Star Wars, which is not related to the music. It's because of the movie.
I'm sure it's like the opposite. Where the music and people knew that it was these movies, like they associate that. Like you used to, like you
Yeah.
hear Jingle Bells and know it's Christmas, but if you play
Yeah.
it to some
So
kids
that's why
that
it's
grew
a
up,
bit weird.
and
Sometimes
you
it's not.
like you wouldn't
No,
recognize.
but I mean it's not completely pure. You mean you might have some parts of some other stuff, that's for your
Yeah.
life. Like,
And that's why it was so interesting for Seekers when I was listening into it, which you're gonna listen to, man. It's so mystical. It's a mystical experience. Like these sounds they're making, they're not human sounds. They're like animal sounds, and it doesn't sound at all like a. And it sounds like a thing. It's its own thing. It has a
I
life.
mean
This
the
song,
songs there. I see.
and it tells you the song
Uh-huh.
that they sing for you. They come to you and they sing this personal song just for you.
What really?
And they come in with a
Nice. But like, is there
yeah,
a tag?
the shaman
But
or in
it's
my case,
melody.
his family.
Yeah.
Yeah, they start singing this thing and they do this thing with the feathers and they sprinkle water and but it's still dark, and it's just this one candle and they sing and you're still in it, like when you're coming out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like to bring out, finalize the
Yeah.
ceremony. You're just coming back to this song, and this song brings you back to life and gives you
Mm.
life. Yeah, like I felt like a bird when they're doing this with the feathers. And I felt like, oh, I'm rising up and like all the air and everything and flying over the mountains and then kind of because I was coming from a bad place where I was seeing like the jungle and some snakes and stuff. And so emerging from that space into this into the sky with the song and it brings you back and you're like you're, you're back on earth after that.
Then that's a really
And it's
nice
gonna be
song.
amazing. I hope they don't cast this. Well, which day was the flight? Which day?
Fuck, some connection shit is happening.
Which date is the flight?
Internet is going bad again. I don't think it. I mean, because of this corona shit, it won't happen in June. I mean, I still haven't said to Chris,
Oh
but
shit!
I mean,
Are you
at this
sure?
point I'm pretty sure, yeah, because they're canceling flights, and I don't think it's going away soon. And I don't want to be the first one to travel, even if it goes away, because maybe it will be weird or they'll get something wrong after not doing it for 2 months. So I'll probably, I don't know. I have to see how this goes, but I will try to go as soon as possible, but not as soon as physically possible. I'll just probably do it like 1 month after everything is okay or something. But that's this as soon as possible for me.
Well, wait until they cancel the flight, so then they give you an option to refund or to postpone.
No,
So
no,
you're gonna
I
postpone it
haven't
with a
bought the
month
flight
or
yet. I
so,
mean,
and
I was taking my time. I haven't bought it.
okay.
I just told Chris. But yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I have to call him. Fuck, the connection is going shit.
I can hear
I
you
mean,
well.
but there are issues right now.
Are
Like
you playing something else on the internet that might use up the?
Spotify. I stopped. No, it's not from that. It just goes bad at this point in time. I don't know what the fuck is happening.
All right, let's talk for a few more minutes. We can wrap.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening. Ogi, Orilux, does he say anything? Final words from Ori? Orilux?
No. I mean, the final ones are the final ones.
Once
I discovered
the
a
man has
song.
spoken, he will not.
Dude, I discovered a song on the podcast. It was amazing. The previous one was really nice. And I discovered,
Thank you
I
for
mean,
listening.
I put
Thank you
it in
for
my
listening
playlist.
to me.
The song that I discovered. Anyway,
Okay.
it's called
So,
Frank Sinatra.
Orilux, guys,
It's a nice name for a
listen.
song.
Remember, therapy is good. Also, abortion not good, unless you can prevent.
Yeah,
Well,
the connection
depending on
is
the books that
bad.
you
God damn
enough
it.
time with something else. We
Jesus.
discussed that too. In this episode, you're gonna hear many different discussions, songs, photos. We talked about photos. We did a couple of commercials. We did
That's the classic.
now, with the lights and stuff. And some childhood. Steph, your final words for you?
I hope these are not my final words. I hope I say more words someday. These are my final words.
Why do you say that?
And now I'll say it. Okay, these are my final words now.
What? We did that. Very interesting. game with this like called Psychodrama.
What? I'll just
Heard
stop
this?
it maybe. No, I mean I hear that it's bad. It's like,
Okay, man. We talk about psychodrama and other things next time.
yeah. God damn it, we should.
We tell you guys goodbye.
Yeah.
And Josh, if you have anything else to add?
No. Bye bye.
Bye bye.